Broken heart syndrome is real. Did you know that? And did you know that it can literally stop your heart? Well, today, my guest, my girl, if Lynn is back. She is a functional medicine expert, and we're going to dive into broken heart syndrome, which is Valentine's Day. The holidays weren't that far behind us, and if you've been through a divorce, you've been widowed, you have been through a horrible breakup, then you know the stress and the pain of those kind of holidays. And this episode is going to help you understand a little bit of the science behind that and how to help yourself heal. Because you know that what's what Hot Topics Live podcast is all about, honey. So if you don't know me by now, I'm Kia. I'm a coach and I love talking to people. And I also love to remind you that you should be living your best life possible if you're not already. And this podcast aims to help you do just that. Before we dive right in, we're going to give a quick little shout out to my sponsor, Mental Health Code. Mental health is so important, especially these days. I mean, so many of us, even myself sometimes, are just like hanging on by a thread. And we need a little support. So, Mental Health Code exists to help you do that. There's courses, there's just information. Go check it out. And with that said, and without further ado, let me bring out my girl, Lynn.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, honey. You are always dropping pearls of wisdom and knowledge for the listeners and the viewers of this podcast. And I'm forever grateful to you for that. So let's dive in. Everybody wants to know, what is broken heart syndrome and is it a real thing? I say yes. Fill us in.
Yes, Kia, broken heart syndrome is real and it is actually a medical diagnosis. Most people don't know that. And it can, it seems like it's a poetic language. Oh, my heart is broken. Well, yeah, your heart is broken. I mean, literally is broken. You're not weak. I mean, have you ever noticed? I mean, those of you who actually had a boyfriend or you have a breakup, or a girlfriend that broke up with you and you feel like a knot in your throat and a tightness in your chest. Well, it's real. And the medical term is called Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. And it literally means stress induced weakening of the muscle of the heart.
So your actual heart is getting weaker because you're going through like emotional pain?
Yes. And it's like a shock, and it's an emotional shock to the body when you have a breakup. And it's almost like the heart is just getting a slam of chemicals that can actually, it's just like your car, has stalled
Mm-hmm.
when you're driving. If it's stalled, like all the engine lights goes on, you're like, it's stopped. That's usually like, that's what it really is. It something that caused like a devastating news or loss of a spouse. Even an overwhelming joy, believe it or not, because that's still a stress, and your body doesn't know the difference between overly joy versus a breakup. I mean, it's really that of a similarity, because your body releases a massive surge of chemicals, hormones, and especially adrenaline, and it floods the heart and temporarily stuns the heart, and you feel like, oh my god, I'm gonna clamp like the SNL. The SNL show. Uh, so you also notice that sometimes people who get a notice of a shock and they're like, and they pass out. Back in the
The,
movies,
the
yeah.
fainting couch.
I mean, it really affects your heart, and it mimics a heart attack, really, but it's not. When the doctors do labs tests, when they do a cath test, there's no blockage, but it's just a balloon area of the heart, the left side of the heart, cause the crushing chest pain or the feeling of shortness of breath, sweating because you have now a surge of adrenaline and your body is actually shunt all the blood to the core, which is your heart and your brain. And you can have palpitation and weakness. And literally, you feel like you're gonna die.
So like when you sometimes like when you have like so when my mom passed away, right? Like I felt like my heart was literally breaking inside my chest. This is broken heart syndrome?
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. And of course, I've experienced my journey of broken heart syndrome, 8 years ago yeah, 8 years ago in June. My husband committed suicide, and I had no idea why. I mean, we had a great relationship. We have great kids. I mean, he was stealth. I mean, he was hot. We're both are athletic. And then one day he just shot himself, and I found him in the other room. So it was a son. To this day, I mean, I still, when someone passes away, it really does remind me. I mean, it just really stuns, it still stings me for a minute. And I have to realize that all the work that I went through and all the education had taught me how to rewire my brain so I can live my life and survive and help other people to deal with their pain and sorrow, because literally we live like we're dead when someone dies. And we're like dead walking men and women around like zombies. Because holidays are hard, especially just we had just had Valentine's Day. One of my really good, my husband's good friends and my good friend growing up. I mean, we knew together before we had kids, and before we got married. And the neighbor found, the neighbor, um, the husband went missing in February, the beginning of February, and then they found his body, and he shot himself. And, my gosh, all that flooding of hormones, all the thought process, all those trigger me back to PTSD. And PTSD is real, post-traumatic stress syndrome. And anybody who's been, you're a veteran, some
Yeah.
traumas turn into dramas. And sometimes it'll trigger you to go back to the same thing, and then you'll feel like you're just like living it all over again. But we need to rewire our brain like, okay, let's think about it. That's similar, but it's not the same. Yes, it feels like the same because you feel like, oh my God, your mind just literally hypnotizes you to make you feel like you're there, that just it's just happening right now, but really
Like
is not
it's
happening.
fresh over and over again, the pain, the trauma.
But guess what? I have a secret. I'm gonna give you my secret, okay?
Tell me everything.
So post-traumatic stress syndrome is just thinking about the past as if it's happening. It already happened. You can't even change anything. But what you can
Mhm.
change is that you learn that happened, and what's happening is the present, and it's not happening. It's just thinking about what happened. So you have an emotional tie to the event, right? So if you're present, and just know that, get yourself back in present, say, oh yeah, okay, that happened. Yes, it's similar. Whatever that just happening right now made me feel like it just happened, but reality, it already happened. And what's dragging me back is that trigger of feeling the same, but it's not the same situation, if you understand what I'm talking about. And so I recoined the PTSD. I don't know who coined it, like what psychologists have coined it, but me, nurse practitioner Lynn Billet, I said, you know what, I'm going to change. I'm going to put a different acronym, because words are powerful, and what you say sometimes can make you think before you feel. And then when you feel, and then you act, right? And then when you act um, long enough, and it becomes repetitive, it becomes your routine, and that is your personality and your reality. So PTSD, this is what I coined. I recoined that as project, transform, self, destination.
Mm.
Project, s- um, uh,
Transform.
transform, self, and destination. So you're here, you thought about the past. Yes, it's traumatic, but what are you going to do right now with that information? Are you gonna sit there and wither your own pain, or what are you gonna do from what you learned to how you're going to put into action? And sometimes our sadness or madness can give us information to say, okay, what do I want to do that instead? I mean, what do I want to do instead? Because we're adults now. We have what's called consciousness and awareness. And consciousness and awareness teaches us that we have choice. We have choice. We didn't have choice when we were kids. And we didn't have choice sometimes when things happen to us when we're, like a previous event. But anytime when you go through a tragic thing, like a traumatic thing, you're gonna go through some dramas. I ain't gonna lie, that's true. That's the truth. And you have to go through that process so you can take that wound and turn it to wisdom. Wisdom's gonna give you better insight to navigate your life. And then you'll heal, and then you'll heal other people. And I think when we go through stuff like that, it's very helpful. And for people who are suffering right now, or sitting in the couch just crying or just feeling kind of depressed, but let me tell you, you're not depressed. It's a depressive event. Okay, it's not organically that there's a problem in organically that's happening. It's an event that's causing you to think about it over and over again. You want it to be the same, but you know what? Life is not the same. As we age, hey, people are gonna die. And if we live long enough, we realize that we are so lucky to be able to live, and the aged is denied by many.
Yeah, I always say every time I have a birthday that the real gift is another year, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like definitely about recognizing that aging is a blessing. And so we are going to have so much loss in our life, and we are going to have so much pain. And sometimes we have, intrusive thoughts around trauma. And sometimes it's really hard to like get into that frame of mind to remember to be present and to bring yourself back, right? But that is one of the biggest keys of managing your PTSD behind traumatic events. Like, the guy that I'm dating, he is so extraordinary that he's had lots of bad experiences. And I always tell him, like, I feel like you have relationship PTSD, but really there's truth behind that. Like, there is truth in the fact that we can have relationship PTSD. You know what I mean? We can have experienced these traumas, and and we can have like so many experiences that are really hard for us to get over and cause us this type of pain. So, what you're saying really resonates, because having tools to be able to help you move through something difficult, like your husband taking his own life, like, it's just so important to be able to find a way to keep living when something so tragic happens. And I'm curious to know, what were some of the things that you did to help you? I mean, I know we've kind of mentioned this on the podcast before, but for the new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Um, Let them know like what you did to move through that type of pain.
Okay, so first of all, what I did was, being a functional medicine nurse practitioner, I always try to figure out why people do the things that they do. It's not just, oh yeah, I just want to kill myself. Could it be, a physiological thing that's happening to them? Is it deficiency? Like maybe he didn't eat well, he didn't sleep well, he didn't poop well, he didn't talk well to himself. Maybe it's psychological things that happen to him. Maybe he can't absorb his nutrients. And sometimes people internalize their emotional stress, and they know how to deal with the stress and how to tease it out, and be able to find healthy habits, right? Oh my God, this is the end. It's doomed. And then also our environmental factors, like, who we meet, what we were told when we were children. And sometimes when you're little, when you're told, oh, you're just the black sheep of the family. So you just believe that all your life. Or, oh, if you're not a doctor, lawyer, pharmacist, engineer, dentist, then you're not good enough. But your girl, if you are that, man, then that way you'll be validated, right? Sometimes
Mhm.
adults, children, children will listen to their adults and they remember, and our body remembers. Our bodies also keep score, so you can hold on to those emotional ties. And and as an adult, you become this person, but realize that you can resolve the issue and evolve, and then that way you don't repeat. And words are very powerful. What you say, you will behave like that. Um, so what transpired was I went through the same thing as everybody. I'm not no magic woman who actually like, oh yeah, he's fine, and I just got out of it. I just snapped out of it. I literally was studying, trying to figure out why he died, and that was my escape goat. Other people drink, other people gamble, but I was just like trying to deep dive and try to figure out there has to be a reason why. My mother came into my room one night and she's like, Lynn, you have books like you have cats. Do you want to be like a cat woman? You are never going to find out why he died. And you will find out when you take your last breath. But in the meantime, you have 2 kids that are sitting in there out there. You're teaching them how to behave when someone dies. And so, and they're young. They're 12 and they're 8. And if you continue to live like this, not only that you will get old because you're never going to find out and you're going to waste your life, and with a blink of an eye, they're going to become adults and you just lost the essence of seeing them growing up because you're in your head. How many people are in the head? Tell me. Yes, we are in our head most of the time. And your virtual reality sometimes is a lie. It's not the truth. So we have to realize, hey, let's be present. Let's be a willing participant. If it didn't work, how can it, is there a way that we want it to work that's better? But when you go through a really hardship that's broken, you're going to go through the
Mhm.
stages of change, like, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, I got an opportunity to meet her that back in
Did
19.
you?
Yeah, I did. I met her in the 1980s, I think. I was in college. I know Asians don't raisin like black don't crack.
I live by that. I approve this message.
But anyway, so she's like, "You know what, Lynn? You gotta live your life, and it's hard. Nothing's easy. But if you continue to keep on going, it becomes easier. Um, the pain is not as so right in your face. It's a little bit far more removed. Like you can still remember, and you don't have to forget about it and snap out of it. I mean, it's still a wound, right? So Takotsubo Cardiomyopathy will heal. You will heal from this thing. I promise you. This too shall pass. And then you have something else that you're going to have to deal with, and that too shall pass. And life is all about every moment, and we're going to have good things happen, bad things happen, sad things happen, elating things happen, excitement. That's part of being a human being. And just love every part of you, even though like the hardest thing that you went through. I think when I went through it, it was so hard because and then my mom was like, "Oh, Lynn, you just have to, you know, go through this and be present." And and then so I was actually, since I was learning about functional medicine, I was learning about like what to do to help my brain because I was really inflamed. My heart, I was losing nutrients as I'm taking in. My hair was falling off. I lost like 16 pounds. So broken heart syndrome is real, and people don't talk about it. Literally, they don't talk
Facts.
at all. That's fact. Yeah, I just,
So I
I
have a
just,
question for
yeah,
you.
yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm curious to know
Hmm.
how does broken heart syndrome affect women and how does it affect men? Is it the same or is it different?
Well, men don't talk about their feelings. All they do is they just they shunt their feeling to, oh, I'm gonna work really hard. I'm gonna work, or I'm just gonna jump into another relationship. Most of them are
Mhm.
like that. Some women are like that too, but women, I think women, because we have just like a cerebral brain that we always think about everything. Like we tend to have more emotional trauma. We do, um,
Mhm.
and and some people want to show. I mean, some people don't want to talk about their feelings, And it's okay to not talk about feelings, you don't have to express it to the world. When you're ready, if you want to do that, that's just your prerogative. But it is your journey, no one else's. And if you need help, just know that you do need help and you're not alone. There's so many people out there. There's so many, man. Yeah, the other day I was like looking up broken heart syndrome support in my local area. There is like a ton of different societies, like the Society of the Widow, and then there's like hospitals and churches. I mean, you're not alone. You feel alone, but you're not alone, I promise. What you feel, what other people also feel. And so when you know that you are not alone and someone else can share their experience, you can feel like, wow, I can resonate, and that I can have support. We need support. We need support. And support actually is shown to actually loneliness kills. Um, and that's even worse when you actually have a death of a spouse and then you're sitting at home and just sequestered in your house and feeling you feel like you're in a prison of your own mind, and no matter where you go, right? So and the memories will resurface. You're gonna have some loneliness sometimes, and give yourself some grace and some space to. Yes, you will re-experience it. You will, but it's not gonna be the same. And with time, sometimes people heal a lot faster, and sometimes, it's your time to heal. So just be gentle and ease. The body at an old age can no longer tolerate the forces you push upon yourself when you're young. So it forces you to be aware and be present and learn how to love yourself like no others. So I not only I do help people, but I also help people remember who they were before the world tainted them.
There's a lot of people that have come into my comments today that need that kind of healing.
Oh,
They
I
do.
oh
They need some type of healing to make them a better, more whole, more loving, more empathetic, more kind person,
well,
right?
you are kind. You are kind before you are got tainted, right? So you
Correct.
got hurt. There are people who actually are mad. I mean, I have people who are like, "Yeah, I'm always bitchy." I'm like, "No, you are guarded because you've been hurt." And hurt people are guarded. They're totally guarded. But behind that anger is the emotional scar, resentment, unfairness, wrong,
Mhm,
misunderstood. And
mhm.
nobody sits there and listen to you. But listen, if you look at her mirror and you listen to her, hear her, listen to her, understand what happened to her, validate her feelings,
Yeah,
and respect her enough to let her be heard. And this goes out to men too, you guys. I mean, men don't talk about their feelings. They just shut it up and they just like work, 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 and then until they sometimes even drop dead. So,
facts.
so find your safety. Find somebody, or if you don't have anybody, just get a diary. Just sit down and write your feelings. And sometimes those emotional feelings are emotional driver to say, well, what's the opposite of what I'm feeling now? If I feel like crap right now, well, what's the next thing I'm going to do to make me feel less crappy? Because you have choice, but that lies on being aware, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I think that a lot of people are not self-aware, which is how they become internet trolls, because everybody feels empowered when they're behind a keyboard, when they're looking at someone else doing something, and they can make comments, but they have not worked on themselves. Like they have traumas and pain points and things that have made them so miserable
mhm.
that their only way of feeling empowered and feeling good is to be rude or mean to someone else. And
That's
I
called
think
protection.
that yeah, it's the projection. So I think that this message is even more important for them and for
Yes.
people who find themselves with something to say when someone's trying to do something positive and give information that's meant to help someone, when they can't resist the urge to like be rude, to really think about who hurt you and like how can you heal yourself and how can you be, show up for yourself and show up for your inner child and help heal that so that you can put goodness into the world and love into the world instead of hate. So if you're a person who loves, to experience, a safe space to learn, and to find information that can maybe help you and feel good and feel with community around people who care about you, this is the space for you. Okay, but it is not the space for you if you're not ready for that yet. So I would encourage you to do the work, to do the healing work so that you don't feel the need to come on someone's platform and say terrible things to them. Okay? So let's go from there and heal your broken heart and listen to Lynn because she has amazing information for you about how to work on that process so that you can show up as someone who is bringing the world something other than hatred and nastiness. Okay.
Well, the nastiness is feeling of hardening.
Tell us, Lynn. Break it down.
Ah, because you don't want to be hurt, so you will hold on to that guard, and that guard is your safety net, and say, "Well, I ain't gonna let this happen to me again," or "I'm just not going to feel like that again," because it hurts so much that you're just like literally put your guard so rail so up that you can't even want to feel, because that is the most vulnerable,
hmm
very vulnerable, you know. Um, Sometimes it will take your breath away, and you feel like you're literally gonna die, and you feel like you're so suffocated because there's like the world you're standing still while the world is running, like going on without you,
hmm
right? So, and that could feel that way, and give yourself a hey, be there and experience that for just a moment. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's stoic, you feel like, God, I'm bleeding right now. I'm bleeding. Why can't people understand what I'm feeling? Well,
Yeah.
listen, how you understand your feelings, right? So how you process it is different, and give yourself some grace when you go through some difficult thing. All of us, sometimes we just like continue to get back on the bandwagon, work, and not like stuff it, and some religions or in some cultures will say, "What, you're not over that yet?" And get, snap out of it. Or here's some antidepressant medicine. Your husband died a year ago. I mean, you need to move on. Mm-mm.
hmm
We are in our healing journey, and everyone is different. I was looking at the National Institute of Health and how the widowhood effect, on how when someone passed away, the highest risk within the first 3 years of the month, they can last up to a year or longer. And then study shows that men are more significantly impacted with roughly 70% increase the chance of dying within the first year, compared to only 27% in women. Why? Because I don't think men how to deal with emotion and stuff, right? So they can die. And how many of you have seen or heard someone who actually died right after their spouse died? Like, within
Yeah.
the next day sometimes, is that shocking. So that is broken.
hmm Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher,
Oh my
right?
god. Just
Right?
yeah, it happens all the time, But I say that the Almighty God did not give me a golden ticket to pass the pearly gate yet, so I have more work to do. That's why I'm staying behind. I had many dreams that my husband used to say, "No, it's not time for you to go yet. You need to stay back." And I know my job is to be able to be a parent, a good parent to my kids, and that I need to be a good parent to myself, in the mirror, and love myself and be gentle and not, yes, you work hard today, okay? Don't be too hard on yourself. How many people say that? Nobody. It takes practice, and it takes
Mhm,
practice to say, all right, you need to listen to your feelings and how you feel according to how you slept, how you ate, what's been happening in your life, and what can you do today? Maybe one thing. One thing. This is not called the childbearing years, folks. It's called the disease preparing years if you're not careful.
true.
But this can heal. Unlike a typical heart attack, broken heart syndrome can be reversible. Okay? Your muscle of your heart can recover within weeks, Sometimes, it takes a little longer, but depends. The function of your heart is normal. They do EKG. They show, you have symptoms just like a heart attack, but when they do a scan, uh, there's no blockage. There lies on how emotion affect the physical being. Yes, yes, you are the tsunami aftermath of your history. So if you don't
Simple
know
as
what
that.
happened, yeah, 3 months ago, sometimes we're like, oh, it's far removed. I don't even know. I don't know why I have this rash, or I don't know why I feel this way. Well, let's look at yourself. What happened to you 3 months ago? Maybe even a year ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. I like to look at people's fingernails. This is 6 months of your life, and if your fingernails, if you have a little groove across, you had some disruption. You have a major stress going on. I'm like, oh yeah, 3 months ago, what happened? Oh, what didn't happen 3 months ago?
12 consecutive months for
Right?
me, honey.
So these things, like, yeah, your nails are very important. Looking at your nails and how, like, your matrix of your nails and how brittle they are. It tells you what nutritional depletions. You ever seen those little white spots in the nails? That is zinc deficiency. And zinc deficiency, if you don't have zinc, you can't make testosterone. And if you have zinc deficiency, you eat too much sugar. If you have zinc deficiency, you cannot make testosterone. You need zinc, and your immune system will go down. If I didn't say already. So it's easier to figure out what, if you have a zinc deficiency, just replace it. But when you stress, you lose literally all the minerals. Your minerals are all like your gasoline, like your money, all your vitamins and minerals are all your nutrients that gets depleted when you go through a major stress. And stress is
Mhm.
like war inside your body. Yeah. And so as soon as you eat something, it's out of the system, or you can't even absorb it. Majority of people after what, 30 or 40, they cannot digest their um their food. They have what's called hypochlorhydria, and that is when you don't have enough digestion enzyme to digest your food to absorb. And some simple things like food coloring can also affect your absorption. Food coloring is relatively safe. So
Relatively.
yeah.
I love you when you said that.
But getting back to the metabolic perspective of the heart, and the heart is an organ. It's a love organ. It's a heart, and it beats like 100,000 times every single day without you even thinking about it, and you feel it in your heart. And so when you have something that is a very traumatic thing that happens to you, your heart needs nutrients. It needs to eat first. If the heart eats first, then it can provide nutrients to the rest of the body, right? So if your heart doesn't pump right because it loses the electrical signals, you need to give those nutrients back, like L-carnitine, the CoQ10, magnesium, things like that. And then calming down your nervous system. You can rev your heart up when you're freaking out or something. And then somebody say, oh, that. And then all of a sudden, so breathing also affects, the nervous system, how you rewire your thinking. Sometimes we have, like, I always say that, I have this thing called feng shui of the brain. When
Feng
you
shui of the brain.
feng shui of the brain, right? People have yoga in the face, but I say feng shui in the brain.
I want all of those things. So tell me about
All right,
feng
feng
shui
shui.
of the brain.
Well, you have chaos that happens over, you can be overwhelmed. And so if you have chaos, you have to learn how to organize your chaos. Prioritize what needs to be done first. Okay? And once you have that, you have all the ducks in a row. Okay, let's put it into like a calendar. Don't try to do number one and number two, and number two and number three all together at once, because we love to multitask and say we think we're productive, but really we can do diddly squat, because we're not focused on one thing. And be focused so you can hocus pocus. Make one thing really good and then finish it and then go to the next one. And if you can't, just put a peg on it and say, oh, I need to do something else, but get back to finishing it. Once you do that, you're going to get so good at doing start and finish, closing the loop. That way you're not going to like, oh gosh, I'm supposed to do that last week. When we do have deadlines, and some deadlines are like, urgent, and some are emergent, and some are like, I can do it later. But we love to do everything at once, especially women. If we don't do it at once, we're like, "Oh, yeah, it's not good," we're not productive. My list is not done yet, but
I think we have to find ways to manage things so that we don't face overwhelm and we don't feel panic, because that panic is the thing that we can gives us the, like, if panic can give you physical reactions, so does the broken heart syndrome, so does the overwhelm, right? Like, so if we can find, the tools and put the tools in our toolbox that can help us manage those big emotions, then we are more mindful about and intentional about how we approach things going forward, and they feel a lot better. And I am neurodivergent, and I have someone watching who's neurodivergent who I was chatting with in the comments there, because he had like a very serious comment that I wanted to address. And I just wanted to say that it's really important, especially when you're dealing with depressive issues, because you also feel those in your body, just like broken heart syndrome. And it's really important, like if you're neurodivergent, to find the tools that work for you, because it's not going to be the same for other people. For people who are not neurodivergent, neurotypicals, I guess that's what they're called. And so I will encourage you to find people who are like you on Facebook groups or in these societies Lynn was talking about earlier. And so that you
they're
can
out there.
find and connect with people who are on the spectrum or who are like you. And that way you'll definitely feel less alone. You can also turn up to Hot Topics Live podcast if you subscribe and set your notifications. And I will also be there to, as a neurodivergent, to offer some support. So, but I do think it's really important for us to have some tools and a support system for when we're experiencing these kinds of traumas, as well as, what you mentioned is your nutrients and how that can aid. And that is just definitely something I never would have thought about when I'm thinking about having a broken heart, is like, how is my gut health? How am I absorbing my minerals? Am I getting the right
Brain
minerals
is
and
not
stuff
thinking
in?
about that. You're just bringing
Yeah.
about survival. I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
It's like you don't eat, or you eat only ice cream, or you drink a lot, like you go to an old coping mechanism
right.
that may not be the healthiest one, but what you should do instead, which would be better for you to help support you through it, would be to take some of these supplements and have actually a healthier diet that's taking care of your body, especially if your actual heart muscle is weakening because you are in emotional pain. So
Right.
that's what I understood. Is that somewhere in the ballpark?
Yeah, I mean, when you're really mad, you don't give a rat's ass of what you eat. I'm telling you. You're gonna be so mad. I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna drink myself to death, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm
Oh
telling you,
God.
there are people who actually do that, or some people
No,
like, "Oh, I don't care. I'm just gonna eat to the point where my hemoglobin A1C is 11. I'm
I mean, I
diabetic."
don't know if they think that, but it's what they do,
Yes.
right? Or
So I
maybe
think
some
the
people
most
do.
important thing is being present and have somebody call somebody. Somebody call somebody. If you're really bad, if you cannot handle what you're feeling, I mean, call someone. If you don't have anyone, sit down and write, because you're the only one who knows how you feel, and you can lie to anyone else, but you cannot lie to yourself. I'm telling you, you cannot lie.
Woo! I love that you said that. My favorite thing in the world since I was in probably fourth grade has been journaling, because I have big emotions. I'm a person who has big emotions. I'm also neurodivergent, so I'm what's called an auditory or verbal processor. I do two things that really help me. I have, number one, a support system of several people that I can call upon, and have them kind of help me co-regulate, or let me vent. Like, that'll hold space for me if they have the capacity at that time to let me say what I need to say and get it off my chest, if you will. But there's nothing like the journal because of the type of how I communicate can sometimes be overwhelming, and my big emotions can be overwhelming for people. In order for me to be truly free to get everything out, like the journal has been my saving grace for the majority of my life. The other thing I started doing a few years ago when I started coaching at London Real Academy with Brian Rose and the team there. And it was something that my coach, when I was a student there, suggested. And she said that she was doing video journals. And I said, "Oh my God, what is a video journal?" And she was like, "Oh, I just, record myself and I just speak at myself." And so it's almost like your future self can go back and look at where your past self was at and maybe even sometimes remind you of things you've forgotten, give yourself advice, like help you through. And that's a really useful tool along with I like to meditate, I like breath work, I like going for walks and moving my body. And my new favorite thing, you will not believe this, how it helps me when I'm going through stuff is I have a vibration plate. So I get on that thing for like 10 minutes and it shakes my body. And after
Right?
that, I feel way better.
You gotta move your body, so get up and walk. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes all you need is just move your body. Go to
Hmm.
the gym even when you don't feel like going to gym, you know? Take a
Hmm.
deep breath, and, you speaking about journaling, I always ask myself, "What are you mad, sad, glad? What are you mad about?" Sometimes you have to sit down and write about what you're mad about and then get to the root cause of why you're mad. And it could
Hmm.
be the fact that, "Oh, yeah, I wasn't good enough when I was a kid because my dad said I needed to be the first job one Chinese girl." That's it. No, or it can like, it's that literally stem from that, right? Or it could be like, "Oh, yeah, at work, somebody said something that made me feel like I'm inadequate just because, whatever was not done the way they wanted, right?" And so you kind of brew on it, and that can actually create all the other idiosyncrasies that you went through, or all the traumas and dramas that you had. And it's like, really, that was actually the trigger? Come on, really? So kind of go back and think about where the root cause of the problem is. Sometimes we don't even know that the root cause could be somebody just um r you know, got into my lane, and I almost got into a car accident, and I was freaking out, right? So, it could be just that. But let's do the rewiring and function of the brain, and, function in the brain, chaos to organize chaos to clarity, and then once you have clarity, you actually redirect and autocorrect and be able to write down some of the things you need to do, and then put in a calendar and do it. It is so amazing. I would like to give you another tool. I stole this from Jim Rohn, God rest his
Ooh, I
soul.
love him.
Uh,
Yes.
so so I have 5. The 5 questions are, what am I grateful for today? Number 1. What am I grateful for today? Number 2, what went well today? What went well today? Number 3, what didn't go well today? What didn't go well today? Number 4, okay, if it didn't go well, what did I learn from that? So I can actually make some changes tomorrow. And number 5, what is distracting me from doing the things and I need to do to get to where I need to go? And sometimes it's just frivolous, stupid things like, you know, not organized, or getting, going back and forth, or like, your mind is just thinking about 10,000 other things, or you're just all of a sudden squirrel Facebook, or somebody call you and like, "Hey, I need something," and then you just lost yourself. So I think being deliberate on your day, and your time is your money. Your time is, your love. And then also, if you feel bad or sad and you got nobody, go find somebody to help them. I'll guarantee you, you're gonna have a lot of oxytocin. You're gonna feel good about yourself when you help someone. If you have no one, hey, go to the homeless shelter. There are so many people who need your help right now. So instead of going, "Oh, poor me," go help someone. Love them. We're human beings. We're souls in this world. And sometimes souls can be tainted, and we forgot who we were, you know? I'm only worthy if I have this money, and then I lost all my money, so I'm not good enough. I lost my house, I became homeless. I said, "You know what? Homeless is not worthless. Sometimes homeless gives you the freedom to think." Because where you were at, you were a prisoner of your own mind. So somebody up there will strip you bare so that you can reestablish your life again. And that is genuine. And when you go through hardship, the hardest thing you go through, you learn the most from. And I think if I come on, welcome it, learn it, understand that yes, life is hard, but
Mhm.
you are tougher than you think.
Definitely. So, if I were to ask you, like, I think we talked about so many ways. We talked about broken heart syndrome and we talked about what it is and how to like move through it. But if you were going to give me like three like quick bullet points on one, two, three top steps to remember if I'm going through a major heartbreak of how to help myself move through it.
Okay. Well, I say this as my opinion, but you can
Mhm.
do whatever you want. You can choose whatever you want because you have every right to do so because you are who you are. And you know who you are better than anybody else, right? So
Facts.
don't look at me like, okay, so Lynn said that and that's gonna be like written in stone. Okay? I'm not
Okay,
the
be flexible.
I'm not the 10 commandments, I promise. Lynn told me that, no, just listen to yourself. And sometimes you have to get out of that noise, get out of all the noise. Oh, you need to do this. Oh, you need to do that. I don't need to do anything. Sometimes I'm so sad and I have to be okay with not being sad. Okay.
Or just being so sad that you're not doing anything, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And it, you know what? If somebody dies, you cry. That's appropriate. But if somebody dies and you did not process it and then you just become numb and you don't say anything, or you just like cry every day for 10 years, you stop taking care of yourself, that's a problem. Okay. And recognize it is a problem. And we're vulnerable. We do need other people to help and accept the help. I'm telling you, I'm the person who like, oh no, I can do myself. I can't do everything myself, I realize. And there are times that emotionally I need someone. And just have the courage enough to say that I do need help. You have permission. You have my permission to say that you need help. And you don't have to suffer alone. I promise you don't have to suffer alone. I didn't. Okay. I had two really good girlfriends who actually made me write a book and, write down a note. Okay, today I'm going to go to get my, you know, to file the divorce, the death certificate. I have to go to SSI to fill out this thing that he passed away, right? Or I gotta go and take his clothes and give them away, and like little things like that. I'm like,
Mm.
I just can't. Sometimes I'm like, it's too much, and I would say, somebody just take care of that thing. Okay, I'll pay you to just get rid of that because I can't. You know,
Yeah.
um, there's times you're not even ready. And I just like didn't care about my belongings. I'm like, take whatever you want. I don't really care. I'm just like, I don't care. But I recognize that you're hurt, and it's normal to have feelings of hurt, and pain will heal. I see people with wounds on the outside. I say, I can heal the wound outside, but I can't heal the wound inside your head that nobody sees the inside job.
Yeah.
It is an inside job. And broken heart. Now, I would like to share with you, like, so all the things that I told you now, it's simple but not easy, right? It's not easy. For people who actually have somebody who passed away or lost a divorce, even a divorce, it's like death. Like the hierarchy of stress. That's like divorce and death of a spouse is the highest. And I like to add death of a child. That's
Oh
even harder.
god, I can't even imagine. I have 2 boys, and if any I
Okay,
like
so what do
every
you do?
day, I'm just every like since the day they were born, I'm just like, "Okay, let
I
me
know.
just keep these kids alive." Like, I can imagine.
I had a woman who actually lost herself when her son was killed, was drowned. And so she lived her life to this conundrum and just got into trouble and went to jail.
Oh,
So she was patient. And
heartbreaking.
then, yeah. So then when I found out what happened, and that's why she was drinking herself to death, she's like, I was supposed to die first. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what you
Mm.
got? I say you don't play God because you know what? That soul was meant to come in and that was supposed to live that soul was meant to leave.
I cry real tears over that.
And yeah, and you don't have a choice. I mean, every soul has to live their
Yeah.
life to its fullest, and live life to the fullest could be like, oh yeah, one day that baby just like was here for one day and died. But what are we learning from these souls? The souls say, hey, mom, life is finite. Death can be any time. So just live, okay? Just live. We do have expiration date, but we don't know when. So don't live like you're gonna like think that you're gonna live forever, but live like you really live because this is a moment. This is why they call it a present. Hello, right? So for those who people, I would like to, if you'll give me an opportunity to share with you the speech that I wrote, and this will help people who actually have broken heart syndrome.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the stage, and I'll be
Real
back
quick.
when you are done.
Okay, real quick. Take a deep breath. For those people who have family or loved ones who pass, and you just can't, you can't shake it. This is for you, okay? So I want you to sit back, roll your shoulders away from your ear, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and exhale. Let's do 2 more breaths. Inhale, hold it for 3 seconds, and then exhale. Keep your eyes closed as you inhale, and slowly exhale. Keep your eyes closed. And hear this word and embody these words, and this speech is for you. It's called Survivor of a Death of a Loved One, and the courage to move forward. Ready? Okay, here goes. I've been having conversation with you in my heart every single day, although I have not heard your voice since you left. I know that you exist in another dimension, and though my heart aches for you as I have unanswered questions as to why you left so soon, but I trust a higher being. It was your time to go, although my selfishness does not agree that it was your time. You impacted my world more than you can imagine. I will greatly treasure you, and I will treasure all the memories that we shared together. Your love for me is and forever will be in my heart and will never be apart. To honor you, I will go on with my life thriving because that's what you have wanted me to do. And though it's difficult, some days are fine and other days are just horrible. And that said, I'm a human being. What I went through is tragic. And it's okay to not be okay. And I have to sit with my not okayness in order to process it so I can heal and not shut it up. And because I know that you are alive inside me, memories, I'll continue to live my life consciously creating new memories with love and kindness and gentleness. And the key is to never ever sabotage myself. Drinking too much, using drugs, being angry, live with resentment, with sorrow, hurt, repress of emotion, feeling like I'm walking dead. And because I know that you love me now, when I think about you, I'll think that you are an angel looking over me. And the love will continue as I continue to live my life. And I will share with other people the memories that we had, the experiences that I had, the difficult thing that I can turn my tragic to magic and help someone to heal as I'm going through this process of healing. But in the meantime, I'll see you in my thoughts and dreams. I can hear you. But no more. What's for dinner? I can't find my socks. Can I borrow $50? Oh my gosh. That that speech I wrote took me so much tears, so much angst. And I can't believe I'm able to actually memorize it and talk to you. And it is very painful, but now it's turning into a piece of art that I'd like to share it with the world. And I'm gonna try to actually I'm not I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna apply to the TED Talk and hopefully I'll be able to get picked and share this with the masses. So one less suffering, one less person who's suffering and hurt. Oh my God, you have no idea. I have a big heart, and when somebody hurts, I'm like, oh my God, I really want to heal you, but I can't heal you. You have to heal yourself. But these are tools to help you, to guide you out of it, and be glad that we have ability to live right now and to create new memories with love and kindness and gentleness, and we can create like a big community of healing. So then hey, we're all here to help other people, right? So I'm telling you, if you go through some tragic thing, you're going to turn that to magic, and you become resilient after tragedy, and that is your work. That is, sometimes you have no idea what you're doing, and like, I don't know what my purpose is. You know what? Sometimes you have to go through trauma and realize your purpose. That's the truth.
I mean, pain is the main catalyst that humans utilize for change.
Yeah.
Challenges, make us stronger. And you know what? It's one of those things where I always like to say that that's why they call it growing pains, because it hurts and it's messy and emotional, and you have to allow yourself to feel those feelings, but don't get stuck in them. And if you are stuck, find the support you need, whether it's paid for support or friends, but utilize the support you need to get out of that stuck place. And that's really important. I thought your speech was very poetic. And I think a good place for you to practice for your TED Talk would be on open mic nights, so you could see people's reaction to that.
What's
I
open?
think it would
Where?
be beautiful. Well,
Where?
just look in your area and see where there's
Oh,
open mic nights at
okay.
any like
I
cafe
do it.
or lounge or whatever. If you do, you have to tell me,
Okay.
right? And you have to like take somebody with you so they can record it on with your phone or
I
take a
shall.
tripod and
Yeah.
record it so that you can watch it back so you can practice for your TED Talk. I'm a coach. I was your coach. You know that. So
No, you.
like but that would be my advice on how to perfect it for your it was actually amazing, by the
Oh,
way.
thank you
Not
so much.
not perfected as in the way you deliver it, because the delivery was very impactful, but like practicing it in front of people, like large groups of people live is what I mean. But I
Mhm.
think you'll be wonderful. And if I remember, during our Speak to Inspire course,
I
you
know.
won that. So I think you
Number
have some
one.
skills.
I
My
was
team, Kokia.
I know.
So
I was like
so
the
made me
number one.
so proud.
I was like
So
number one because it's speech. I
yes, you did. Yes,
wow.
you did get
Out of
number
all
one
the people.
speech out of everyone, out of lots and lots of people. So I know
Can
that
you
you're
believe
gonna
it?
do
English is not my first language. It's like my fourth or fifth.
this.
Yeah.
You
Nobody
would
loves
never tell. You would never tell. So I actually cannot believe we've been on here for an hour. Is
wow.
there anything else you want to share before we start wrapping it up?
Okay, one last note. We are powerful human beings. We're powerful before we know that we're powerful. Okay. And we're like diamonds in the rough, and diamond has to be stressed in order to see cut and color and clarity. So yes, you have to be stressed in this world, and that's bar none. No one in this world say I never stress. Even the most uh, loved and cared for person is also
Or
stressed.
richest, most
Rich
successful
is
person,
famous, even Michael
right?
Jackson, right? So stress,
Especially him.
yes. But in order to stress, you will have the cohesiveness of your uh, not only you having stamina but your strength, because it's like every resiliency and every strand, right, comes from the stress. And when you stress will like stress actually is dessert spelled backwards. But no, don't eat that. But stress teach you how to focus. Okay, because you got to use it as a tool to tell you, hey, Something is making me pay attention to it. My body's. If you can only understand your language, your sensation, how you feel according to how you slept, how you ate, then you're like, okay, I'm stressed because something is telling me I got to get this done now. Oh yeah, I'll do it later. No, I got to do it now. And then, eventually you're gonna get into a manic panic. And you're like, oh my god, I'm so overwhelmed. So continue. So just be present and sit down and write a list of what you need to do every day. And even if it's like, you know what, I don't feel like doing it. I don't want. Just do one thing. That's one thing that's closer. And then when you start doing one thing, you get momentum. You start, you finish, start, you finish. You are your own master. You know that? You are your genie and you are your own universe. And universe is YOU. Universe. And universe always says yes. So be careful what you say yes to or who you say yes to. On that note, Kia. Oh,
Big facts.
back.
Big facts.
So broken heart can heal. My heart healing, constantly healing. There's new things happen in my life. There's beautiful things happen in my life. There's also sad things that come in my life. But I have to welcome those and understand that yes, this too shall pass. And what am I learning? I'm always asking, what am I learning from this? And if I don't learn, I don't know. I don't care right now. Okay, well, that's fine. But a little bit later, you have every right to feel what you feel. And then go back and say, okay, now all that I don't like it now. Well, what's next? You can sit there and brute all you want, but what is the next thing you want to do to resolve that problem? You don't resolve, you don't evolve. That way you keep repeating, you keep seeing the same thing, right? So come on, you own your own genie. You could do it. And broken heart syndrome can heal with the right tools, right support, and you're tougher than you are. And yes, it will feel like a heart attack sometimes. It hurts. Things hurt, but hurt can also heal. But don't hurt yourself and hurt other people, because hurt people hurt other people. And you hurt yourself and you burn bridges, but heal people also heal people too. Let's make this world a better place. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
I love that message. I approve this message on Hot Topics Live podcast. Let's make this world a better place.
That's right.
Okay. So if I'm not letting internet trolls stop me from showing up for you and bringing you wonderful guests like Lynn, and sometimes popping on here by myself, like I'm going to do tomorrow, and I'm going to do like a little free coaching session actually for whoever turns up for that. And it's going to be about people pleasing. And how to move through that and get past it. So that's for tomorrow, probably early in the day because I have stuff to do in the evening. But set your notifications so you know when I come live, and that way you won't miss it. Okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know how this goes. Drop me a comment, engage. You know how this is. Help this podcast reach more people. I know some people just come on here on YouTube and they just blow up and they're just like so successful so easily. For me, it is hard earned, every subscriber, but I continue to show up because I'm passionate about helping people. And this is my way. Like you said, go help at a homeless shelter. If you find some way to serve, that's the message. This is what I teach my female veterans when I'm helping them move through their issues as well. It's like, go and help another veteran. And I think that's an important part of the message as well. And I know we're all struggling. This is a difficult time globally for so many people. And we have to know these tools because we're facing a lot of heartbreak on so many levels. Like,
you're not alone. Of course, you're not alone. So reach out to me, reach out to Kia. I mean, we have the people in the world. What?
Connect with Lynn. Learn more about everything she does at Aging Beautifully Now. Number one, if you want to age beautifully, definitely contact Lynn. But if you want to age beautifully inside and out, definitely contact Lynn. Because she's a functional medicine sort of goddess, as if you will, she can help you from the inside out, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and also biologically. I mean, she is a nurse after all. And yeah. And so she actually helped me on more than one occasion, especially you guys know I got that tummy tuck a couple of years ago, and I had a hysterectomy a couple of years before that. And every time I had great supplements from Lynn that helped me to heal and recover so much faster. So before we go, I know I said we were going, but really quick, we talked about this before the episode about supplements that you could take to help you if you're going through broken heart syndrome. And there's a bunch of supplements you can take. But what Lynn can do for you is give you a customized plan for you to help you and your particular body's needs. I mean, we could tell you a bunch of supplements to take, but you might not need those combination of things. So it's wiser to reach out to her directly, again, right here, and get a personalized treatment plan of supplements that can help your body reduce the physical impact on your heart of deep grief.
That's right. And, I don't know you. I'm not your provider. I don't know if you're allergic to the medications. I don't know what medication you're taking. So if you need me to be your medical, kind of coach, so I can have an idea, I can read your labs, interpret in a functional medicine manner, understand what nutrient deficiencies that you have based on what you're telling me as far as symptomatology. Labs may not have all the results. I mean, sometimes you can be not optimal, but your labs are normal, and your doctor's like, oh yeah, I'm fine, but I feel like shit. Um, but there are times when you go to a major event like this, man, you need some help. You need like some ammunition. You need some STP in your gasoline, your gas tank. I mean, you can't just be, oh, I'm just going to eat something quick, because really, you'll burn out. You just can't go from here to LA with a tank of gas. You just can't. So you need not only emotional support, but you need nutritional support. That's huge. I mean, I had learned, like, I couldn't even talk when my husband died. I had to take supplements to help me rewire my brain to my mouth, because I couldn't even see. You know how sometimes you're like, oh, that, or like you're talking and then like you went
You
blank.
just lose it, lose
Just
your train of thought.
yes, yes, your brain is on fire. Your body's on fire. And if you don't have the tools to help decrease the inflammation, then you have cell death. And then you're gonna be forgetful, and then your hair is gonna fall off. And I'm not talking about like to scare you, but really, I mean, we need support. And we need somebody to know like what who've gone through education and learn about it, instead of just I'm gonna go online and just YouTube and what I need to take. Because literally, I mean, that if you have kidney failure or you have high blood pressure, I mean, you can take something, the adrenal support, like licorice root, and that can cause your blood pressure to rise, right? So um, herbs are potent. I use herbs a lot. I love herbs,
Me too.
and I love supplements that real. I mean, like there's a difference between medical grade and food grade, and there are people that taking medicine, supplements that are really toxic. So there's pharmaceutical grade. So know what you put in your mouth. Know what to do. And if you don't, find somebody to help you, so you don't have to spend your whole entire, like I spent like I don't know how many years of education.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I got to tell you, all amazing advice. And I'm so grateful that you were a guest today. And I just can't thank you enough for coming back on and sharing all of this good information. And I want to just say thank you. And
That was a
I'm going
pleasure.
to oh, I think this is like your 10th time on this
I know.
podcast. If
I
you want to see Lynn's other episodes, you have to go into the playlists, or you can go in the channel and scroll through, or if you're watching on Facebook, you have to scroll a lot. But if you're on YouTube, then she's got tons of episodes in the playlists. And it's been years of her visiting me, and she's a deep friend of the podcast. So I just can't tell you how grateful I am for you and all that you've taught me and taught the viewers and listeners and my little Hot Topics Live family. that I love so much. So thank you so much, Lynn, for being a guest today.
It's been an honor, really. I mean, when you learn, you help other people, and that's the best thing that you could do is when you become a student, and then the student becomes teacher, and then somebody else can like, oh my gosh, I need to do that, and this is how we spread the world and live a better place because that's what we need. This world is this is the work that we need to do, and I will do this until I die. I tell you,
I love that.
you
Well,
know.
I'm going to put you in the green room and
Thank
wrap
you.
up the show, and I'll meet you there in a few minutes if you can wait. If not,
Oh,
then
no,
I'll connect with you again soon enough.
thank you for listening, the audience, and I really appreciate that you actually took an hour of your time to learn about this stuff because it's important to you and your family and how you heal. So thank you so much.
Bye for now, sweetie. Okay. That was a lot of information, but it was so solid. And how about the speech, like that beautiful poem that she delivered for all of us to help us understand how to move through grief, and that beautiful mindset that she shared that was woven throughout it was like so incredible. So I just want to say thank you for tuning into Hot Topics Live podcast yet again. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your subscribes. Please continue to do that. Please continue to comment. I really appreciate you, even the haters, because it helps me. I will continue to try to answer comments as I'm doing the podcast live, but this is a live podcast. It's always live. That's why I call it Hot Topics Live Podcast. All right. Nothing pre recorded. So things are going to go wrong, go right, be weird. It's going to happen because it's live. So I hope you enjoy that. Now, if you like pinup, then you should go and follow me on at Creativity. It's down here. Okay. On Instagram at Creativity, and on Hot Topics Live and the Female Veterans Podcast. Because if you didn't know, I have 2 podcasts. So if you like pinup, here's my last cover. This is me. You can go and follow my account at Creativity on Instagram, and you can see behind the scenes and what I'm up to daily and my stories, and see, my all the appearances I make in all the magazines that I'm in. I think I've been in 11 right now. So, and if you didn't know, I am on the board of directors for Hope for Veterans. I got this as a Christmas gift. Isn't it cute? Has my name on it. Can you see that? So if you're looking for a way to support female veterans, go and support Hope for Veterans. And the last thing I want to share with you before I wrap it up is about, I'm doing the self-sabotage course. So if you're interested, the information's in the description box. I'm going to be launching that soon. There's a delay with the website, so bear with me. But if you're interested, hit me up. My friend created this thing called Vital Seeds. It is another one of my students from London Real Academy. I saw this from birth to now. It's a real thing. Okay. So go follow at the Vital Seeds. She's just getting started. If you like healthy food, snacks, like they're delicious. They're all made up of seeds and other great grains and things like that. Sorry, my alarm is going off. It's time for my son to take a shower. So, but thank you for listening and watching and being a part of the Hot Topics Live podcast family. I love you guys so much. I'm back tomorrow with another like mini episode. We're going to be talking about how to stop people pleasing. That one's going to be a good one. The surprising thing that may help you stop people pleasing forever, actually, if you realize this one thing. So we're going to talk about that. So set your notifications so you know when I come live, and I will see you tomorrow. I love you guys. Bye for now.